Alright, Internet, we're back at it with another week. The topic of this week is we're going to be talking about manifestation, prayer, how the two are kind of the same thing, and the three parts that make up manifestation and prayer. So stick around for the video. So the first part of manifestation, prayer, I'm going to use those two words interchangeably, and you'll kind of understand why by the end of the video. But so the first part is identification. Actually identifying what you're praying for, what you're trying to manifest in your life, a goal you're trying to reach. Identifying what that actually is, as specific as possible. So for me, for example, it's winning a Grammy in 2025. That's the identification. That's the thing that I'm actually trying to do. A lot of times people call it setting your intentions, but it's just identifying what you need, what you want, what you desire, and then making it known. So whether that's actually through prayer, whether that's through journaling, whether that's through a YouTube channel, telling someone any way that you can make your intentions known to someone other than, just your own mind space. Like, write it down somewhere. It's okay if you're the only one that knows about it, but at least write it down just so it's there. It exists somewhere other than just your own mind space. So that's the first step, is identification. Let's move on to step 2. So step 2 is now justification. Actually justifying why this thing you're trying to achieve, this goal you're trying to manifest, whatever, justify why that should actually happen to you. And the way we do that is we align our body, mind, and spirit. That's not going away. It's not the focus of every video, but body, mind, and spirit. If you take nothing else from this YouTube channel, I think that is the most important thing, because the body, the mind, and the spirit make up the human experience to a T. As far as I know, as far as we can conceive, that's the only thing you need. So justifying why this thing should actually happen to you, why it should happen for you, how you're going to make it happen, how you're going to put in the effort to make it happen. Because miracles, quote unquote, don't just fall out of the sky. They don't. Something happens that sets off a chain of events and makes them happen. A lot of times that's your own work. So, for example, if you are praying for a long, healthy life, but then you don't work out, you don't eat right, you smoke 6 packs a day, and you drink all the time, what are you doing? You're not justifying why you should live a long, healthy life. If, for example, I want to win a Grammy in 2025, I need to be doing things to make that happen. It's not just going to happen on its own. I'm not going to wake up one day and then this thing is just going to fall into my lap. That's not how it happens. So step 2 is one of the most important steps, and it's a step that people miss a lot, is actually justifying why this thing should happen to you. So that's step 2. Step 1, identification. Step 2, justification. Let's move on to step 3. So step 3, reflection. So now when you get to a point where the thing that you've been trying to manifest, the thing you've been praying for actually happens, it's up to you now to reflect on how it actually happened. And the reason I say this is so important is because we tend to forget about appreciating the process. And so part of the reflection of manifestation, part of the reflection of prayer, is now identifying, okay, so this thing that I've been manifesting actually happened. This thing I've been praying for actually happened. How did it happen? Because what that does is, and this is where we get into a bit of my own theory of, I'm calling it spherical time dilation. This is where we get into the weird stuff. If you're not into the weird stuff, if you just want, the factual information, you can probably stop the video now, because we just get into weird time dilation. But I believe that when we connect the dots of how we got from one place to another, we're actually communicating with our past selves. And that's what creates sort of a gut feeling and intuition. Whenever, you have a gut feeling that, like, maybe I should take this job, or maybe I shouldn't take this job, or maybe I should move, or maybe I shouldn't move, or just any of those gut feelings is from you yourself, once you get to the place you're trying to go to, connecting the dots and sending, energy back to your past self when you were making the decision. Part of the justification process to then, tell yourself, this is the right decision. So it kind of works backwards, but again, my thoughts on time is that time is actually circular. So time is not linear in the sense we start here and end here, but it's circular in that any point in the realm of existence we can exist on. I'm probably going to do another video soon on getting into the math behind spherical time dilation, because I just teach myself physics for the fun of it now, because I think it's interesting. But until that video comes out, just try and think about, when you've had those gut feelings, and then how many times you've thought back on that gut feeling. So how many times have you connected the dots and then, at the quote-unquote finish line said, what, that gut feeling was right. Because that moment where you're at the finish line and recognize that that gut feeling was right, that is you in the future talking to your past to say, hey, past me, you should do it this way, because then it'll turn out this way, and you send that energy back. So identification, justification, and reflection. Very, very important. I believe that if you do these three things actively in your life, you can accomplish anything. So manifestation, prayer, just goal setting in general, identify it, justify it, and then reflect on it. So that's the video for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Gonna come at you with more cool stuff next week, so stick around.